All right, guys, so let's go outside and let's talk for a little bit. I'm just going to put this on the tripod here, and we'll go outside and talk about how I feel about the Sony ZV-1 right now and how I'm going to be using it going forward. This is a fantastic camera. As you can see, I got my rig here, my half rig, so I can get quick access to the SD card without removing the tripod. And I've got lots of ports here, got a slot here, got a port here, so I got my port up there. So this half rig is just wonders for me. But I'm gonna start using something else for top-down shots. I've already been doing it. I'm doing it right now. Some of you guys noticed the different quality, and you said, "Man, what are you shooting with?" You know, and you probably saw the Sony sitting over to the side. Well, I was able to tweak my audio, get my audio right with my Yeti X, because I started using a professional condenser mic with my M1 for my live streams and my front-facing vlogs with my Sony A6100 with the Sigma lens. So with those things all set, let's talk about how I can fit the Sony ZV-1 into my life still if I'm not using it for top-down shots or live streams. And we'll talk about it right now. So I'm going to go outside and I'm going to pop this on. I'm just going to do a quick handheld video and we'll catch up to speed. And, we'll take some photos and we'll talk about this long-term use for me of the Sony ZV-1 video. So lately I've been using a different camera for my top-down shots on the channel. And this is the ZV-1. Now the ZV-1, it has been my top-down video camera for, I can't even count how long. But I decided to incorporate the ZV-1 more into my personal life instead of just YouTube. So that means that, taking photos with this instead of my cell phone, or even posting footage like content online, like getting a good shot or a thumbnail, something like that, I can do it with the ZV-1 because it'll give me a much better picture. Now, the ZV-1 is a camera that Sony brought out to say it's a creator's camera, and honestly, I believe that to be true. It's done very well. I think a lot of people still use the Sony ZV-1. There were a lot of early adopters like me, and they still have it, I believe. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to keep up with who didn't return it or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, the ZV-1 has proven to me that it is well worth the money that was spent. If I did things different, I probably wouldn't have got the tripod, but nonetheless, it is a Sony thing. It's just a little bit more expensive. There's other tripods you can get, but the best thing I did for myself was get an external microphone, which this is the Boya mic. I've been using on it since day one, and then got the small rig recently. The small rig allows me to attach tripods and access the SD card without removing the tripod. Now we're going to talk about a few cons. That's one of the two cons that I have with the ZV-1. The microphones on the ZV-1 are not very good. Now, ZV-1 microphones that are on board, it has a 3 microphone array up top, and they do give you a wind filter. Like I said, I've got it on there now, but it's just not going to be as strong as an external microphones. Having to remove the tripod, if you have it on a tripod, to get to the SD card is horrible. So that's why you just need to get a small half rig if you want, or just any kind of rig that'll give you access to opening the port without removing the tripod is what you want. So this camera right here has been fantastic, man. Again, it's been my overhead shot camera for I don't know how long, and I opted to stop doing that because I feel like I'm leaving money on the table by just having this up on the rig, the overhead rig, all the time. So I moved to a different setup to where I can manually control the footage that's coming from on top. And you've probably noticed that the audio is different because I'm not using this Boya mic anymore. I'm using my Yeti X. I've adjusted the Yeti X to work with my DSLR, my Canon SL3, and then I have a different lens on there. And the quality probably looks a heck of a lot better. I think it does. And then the lens, and the microphone, the audio, everything should start to get a little bit different on my top-down shots. I didn't want to invest too much into the top-down shots because the Sony ZV-1 is just that good. It can do it all, but I think it's better for vlogs if I don't compare it next to my A6100 or my Sigma lens. That is, and I use that with my Mac, my M1 Mac with the professional condenser mic I think I have it at 96 kilohertz right now at 24-bit audio. That's why the audio for my vlogs and live streams have changed. So how do I fit the ZV-1 into my lifestyle now if I'm going to remove it from the top-down shots? Simple. Take photos of everything that I was doing before, just not with my cell phone. So yes, this is a creator's camera. This is a good camera for creators, but it's also a good camera for just regular people. It is more than enough camera for the average person, even the technical person, because I know a lot of YouTubers that use the ZV-1 as their main recording camera. And again, it is totally doable. I just decided to kind of up it a little bit and get some different quality and have a little bit more control, because I've been doing YouTube for some time now, and I think once you get to a point in YouTube, once you get to a certain stage in your YouTube career, you'll want to make some changes, and you'll start to notice that you might need more than one camera. So the ZV-1, and I'll probably still use it in rotation every now and then for a vlog or something with the YouTube channel, but not regularly anymore like that. This is going to be a personal camera now, because I'm really enjoying taking photos out and about with the ZV-1. Now, the cons I spoke of for the microphones, and then the not being able to just take your SD card out, those are cons for me. Some people might not say that's a con. I don't think the microphones are great at all, but over the past 3 or 4 days or so, I've been kind of recording and adding things to this video, and now I'm sitting here at this portion of the video. So one thing I don't have as a con is battery life. The battery life on this thing is fantastic. I don't have a problem with overheating, anything like that. People have asked these questions before, and I just don't have a problem with them. They don't exist. The good thing about using the ZV-1 is it can run on regular power. You can run it on USB power and keep it charged full time. And that's pretty much when I do overhead shots. When I was using it for overhead shots, I never really unplugged it too much. I would plug it up and then would charge, and I would unplug it. But overall, the ZV-1 has been fantastic, man. So photos, everything, it just does fantastic. It's a great camera, and I think that if you on the fence about getting the ZV-1, you're going to be amazed at the quality that you could possibly get. It works good, and it's just a solid camera. It has all the things that a mirrorless camera would want. So I just turned off defocus mode, and it has product show. I just turned defocus mode back on. Basically a blurred background. They're calling it defocus, but ultimately you're going to be able to get good quality footage from this, even if you're not a YouTube creator. So that myth of it being just for creators, YouTube creators, there are all kinds of creators all over the country, man. So this is in fact a creator's camera, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this camera if they decide to get it. So while I will be doing more things with this camera, I don't know, man. I think it's just, and I probably won't do much video with it anymore. It's going to be more about photos with this thing. So I've been talking about, showing you content, like if I would normally post something with my cell phone, to post it to Instagram or something like that. If you don't know, a lot of people do that already. They use real high-powered cameras, and then they drop it to their phone or software or whatever, then they edit it and put it onto social media. Yeah. So I'm going to incorporate the ZV-1 as, and this is going to be a slow process. You'll still see camera samples from devices and things like that from me, obviously, on social media. But I'm pretty much going to probably start just, if I just want to show a product that I got in for review, or just anything, or just show a photo of something, I'm going to make it a point to try to incorporate the Sony ZV-1. It's small, light, compact. Even with the half rig I have on here, it's small and compact. Now I won't leave the Boya mic attached, and I won't leave the tripod attached when taking photos, because obviously that adds on a little bit, but not too much. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed an updated video on this thing, man. This camera is, it's gonna be pretty hard not to use it as a top-down rig, but I kind of like the quality that I'm getting from my videos now. You guys have commented saying, oh man, what did you use to record this? Wow, it's super clear. And so one guy commented about the audio he said it was shaky or something of that nature. Well, that wasn't my Yeti, that was the Boya mic, and I was actually stepping away from in and out of view, even though I was behind the camera. That's probably what he heard, and I frequently do that, but this time I have the Yeti tuned. You have to tune the Yeti. You have to tune the Yeti, and I have the Yeti going directly into my DSLR for the top-down shots, and you have to go into your DSLR. You have to shoot manually in order to, get your audio. Well, I would suggest that you shoot in manual mode when you're gonna have a steady flow of something like a top-down shot. I will suggest that you, to get that audio. Just for audio is one of the most important things that you're gonna come across for your YouTube channel. When it comes to that aspect of creating, but in anything, your audio has to be good. Like right now, it's super windy out here, but I'm using a wind filter on top of the Boya mic, and I'm talking actually at a really low tone because even though I'm far away from my neighbors, I don't want them to hear what I'm saying. I don't know, I'm just like that. I'm super private like that. When I sit on my back patio, I don't normally talk at full tone because I don't want people listening to what I'm saying. But nonetheless, it's a beautiful day out here. So I'm gonna shoot some more photos, post them up. I went for a ride earlier too, so maybe I'll post those photos in this video as well. Anyway, the ZV1, another stamp of approval. This is the long-term review and what direction I'm going with the ZV1 now. But if you want to know the answer to that question, if you are a YouTuber and you want to know what camera you should get, I would always recommend the ZV1 over a lot of other DSLRs or mirrorless cameras, because this camera is a all-in-one. It's just that simple. So man, Jay, the ZV1, seal of approval still after all this time.